Welcome in. A couple weeks ago I filmed a tutorial on the Bob Ross painting Snowfall Magic, and during that video I mentioned that I had done a nighttime version in purple hues, and I had gotten some responses back and people wanted to see a video of that, so that's what we're going to be doing today. And I'll also I'll link that original video, my version of Snowfall Magic. I'll link that in the description as well. So, but today we'll be doing the nighttime version in purple hues. So I just have a 16 by 20 canvas here. It's already been covered in black gesso. If you you can buy canvases that are already have black gesso on them. I do recommend giving them another coat of black gesso just to make sure everything is completely even. Or you can just buy whatever canvases you want and then just cover them in black gesso. So, totally up to you. So what we're going to do first here, we're going to cover the whole thing with liquid clear. Now before I do that, I'm just going to show you the tools I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using 2-inch brush, 1-inch brush, either knife, doesn't matter, bigger or the smaller one, the 10 or the 5. I usually use the bigger one for mixing paint and the smaller one for actually painting. I'm going to use the script liner. Script liner is basically going to be used for little branches, really intricate kind of work like that. And then for the foliage, I am going to be using the foliage brush. If you don't have the foliage brush, that's fine, or the half round one. When you use these brushes, when you tap them, it kind of makes almost like a triangular shape. So it's just a different kind of shape, but if you don't have that, that's totally fine. I'll actually show you the difference between the brushes, the foliage brush and then the 2-inch, the 1-inch brush. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some liquid clear here. And I'm just going to use the 2-inch brush. All right, I'm just going to cover the whole thing here. So I'm just going to tap all over. The reason I'm doing that is to get a nice even distribution. Because if you just go in and just start crisscrossing, you're going to get like more liquid clear wherever you start, and then you're going to have less and less where you end up, so it's not going to be exactly even. So now that we have kind of like little spots everywhere, then we can go in and crisscross. And then if there's any areas that need more, we can always dip a little more liquid clear in there. But you want this to be as thin as you can possibly get it. So see how I'm really, really scrubbing it in? Yeah, your arm might hurt after doing this if you're doing it right, because you really, really, really want to scrub it and have like the thinnest coat possible. All right, so you're about halfway down there. It's always easy to tell when you've got everything covered with the liquid clear because everything looks shiny, which sometimes makes it hard to film. You have to get the lighting just right. Okay, almost done here. Just a little corner left. Up and down, left and right, make it nice and even. And then we'll just do a little touch test. I'm just gonna touch it a little bit. It should kind of like bounce. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's real tacky and it just bounces right back at you. If you're unsure, it's always better to have less than more when it comes to liquid clear. So you can always take a shop towel and wipe it off, or take a paper towel, put it on, and then just kind of like crisscross. That way you won't get the little fuzzies from the paper towels on there. Don't want that. All right. That's good so far. I got a couple of hairs in here. I'm just going to poke them out with the corner of my brush there. Wipe them off. So, now of course you can use whatever colors you want. Since this is a black canvas, we're using transparent colors are going to work the best for this method, just like with like Northern Lights or anything like that. So transparent colors, when you're looking at the Bob Ross colors, it's basically just Prussian blue, phthalo green, sap green, alizarin crimson, and for yellows, Indian yellow is really the only one that's transparent enough to do this. So, but yeah, you can use any of those colors for this method. So as you see here, I have a very limited color palette. I have a purple, so what that is just phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. White, I just have white down here and white up here. I'm just gonna mix the white with the purple and get different shades of purple there. And I have some black there. That's gonna be like for the birch trees and everything. So you can see that I've mixed up quite a pile. You can kind of turn to the side here, you can see how much, quite a pile there, because I'm gonna basically, it's basically gonna be really the only color in the thing. So, but of course you're not limited. You can use different colors if you want. So I'm just gonna go in with the 2-inch brush. And so I am just going to tap that color directly into the bristles here. Now what I'm doing here, I'm tapping, tapping, tapping. I'm not loading the brush with more paint. I'm just tapping it so that it's evenly distributed. So, take a look at that. You can see it's evenly distributed. There's not like, a clump of paint over here or anything like that. So, excuse me. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cover this whole thing in purple. Cover the whole thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start kind of in the middle. Now this is gonna be tough because you can't really see. Some colors you can see, like the Indian yellow, you can definitely see where you're putting that. Some of the greens you can see, but this is almost black. So I am just crisscrossing this on. Now you can do a little touch test for that too. So if you kind of just touch it and look at your finger there, like, oh yeah, you can see the color on there, but you can still see your fingerprints and everything. So that is enough color there. We have to move and do it all over the canvas. So let's keep going. When in doubt, I always like to have the corners and the edges of the painting darker, because then that leads the viewer's eye towards the middle. Okay, so it looks like we've just about covered the whole canvas there. Got another hair here. I'm gonna pop that out. Boop. Come on. Come on. Oh, this one doesn't want to go. That one's really stuck in there. There it goes. All right, gotcha. I'm just gonna go over it one more time, just to make sure it's nice and even there. I think I got another one in there. There it goes. All right, I'm just gonna wipe off that 2-inch brush there. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is gonna bring out the color. So I'm just gonna take, you can either take the same brush, the 2-inch brush, or you can go in with a 1-inch brush. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I'm gonna use the 2-inch brush here. And I am just gonna grab a little bit of white. Again, just gonna tap it in, make sure it's evenly distributed in the bristles there. And you don't want to use a whole lot of white. See how it's just like a dusting of that. Because we're going to go in and bring out the purple. If it's not bright enough, you can always go back in with more white and do it again, but it's, you know, always easier to start out with a little bit and go back in with more later. So I'm going to kind of choose where I want my moon glow here. So I'm going to imagine my moon like kind of in that quadrant over here. So I'm going to go right here, and then we're just going to like kind of crisscross our way. So we're going to crisscross in the middle and just kind of like crisscross in the manner of like a circle, just making our way outwards and outwards and outwards. So we're going to start right here and just crisscross. Okay, that's pretty good there. I'm going to wipe off my brush. And so now's when you have to make a decision, like, okay, is that bright enough? I don't know. If it's not bright enough, go in there with a little more white. I think, yeah, maybe a little brighter. Maybe a little brighter. So let's go tap our brush into a little more of the titanium white. And let's do that same number again. So start where your little moon is going to be, and then just crisscross your way out. See, I'm using lighter pressure as I'm going outwards here because I want it to be darker. I want it to be darker as it's going out there. So I think that's pretty good for the lightness that I want. So I'm just gonna wipe out the 2-inch brush again. And then after I've wiped out as much as I can here. I also didn't mention the way we're going to clean our brushes during the painting. We're not going to clean them in paint thinner. I don't clean them with paint thinner until I'm completely done with the painting, because these bristles are very, very, very dense and they really hold on to paint thinner. So if you clean out a 2-inch brush or a 1-inch brush with paint thinner, it's going to hold on to that paint thinner unless you really, really, really beat the devil out of it. And you would have to really beat it. And even then, I don't know. But I'm speaking from experience because I've tried, you know, cleaning it with paint thinner and then taking it back into the painting, and oh, Nelly, yeah, I ruined quite a few paintings that way. So learned my lesson. So this is the best way to do it. Just wipe off your brush with a paper towel. That's it. And then also it's worth an investment to have multiples of brushes as well. Some people will have like one brush for their lighter colors, or one brush for their darker colors, like their base colors for their trees and grasses and things like that. So that's always an option as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into here, and I'm just gonna smooth all this out. It's kind of blend it all up, so always start from the middle and work your way out. Again, just that little crisscross motion, that's it. And you can blend this out as much if you want. If you want it really, really blendy, you can really, really blend it. I don't want this blended out too much because I want it to look like a nighttime sky, like maybe there's some clouds in the distance that are kind of obscuring the moonlight. But if you want to completely blend it out, you can do that too. Totally up to you. I think that's good there, but I think we need a little moon. So I did a nighttime winter scene where I made the moon with the end of a knife. So you can, Bob sometimes does it with his finger, But as you can see, I have nails, so I can't really, do it with the tip of my finger because that would be just a nail. So you can either, you can use chapstick, you can use the end of a brush or a knife, or I'll show you another way. You can use a brush. So I'll show you here. I'm going to use a 1-inch brush. Just tap a little bit of white into that 1-inch brush there. Turn so you can see there. There we go. That's good. So then what you can do, go straight in. You're going to go straight in and you're going to twist. So let me show you here. Go straight in and twist. If you want it bigger, you can just kind of like move it to the side there. Boop. There you go. Easy moon. Easy, easy, easy. And if you want to smooth it out, you can always like go in with your finger. Like I said, I can't go in with my fingertip, but I can go in with the like pad of my finger and just kind of like smooth it out a little bit there. Yeah, we're finger painting. We're finger painting. And if you want a really pronounced moon, what you can do is, before you start oil painting on it, you can paint a moon, like if you're using a black gesso canvas, you can paint a moon with white gesso, and then to make little craters, just dip like a paper towel, like crunch it up like this, dip it into black gesso, and then just tap it into the moon, and make little craters like that. It's super easy. Let me know if you want to see me do a video on that, because that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. All right, so I'm pretty happy with my little moonscape there. Let's see a little area. I just want to, there we go. Just want to smooth out there. All right, so now we're gonna have some fun with some fun with foliage. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to mix up a color. It's real similar to like this lavender kind of color right there. Well, the color's already mixed up. We're just gonna mix some white into the purple here. So let's, little white, little purple. And of course you can make your purple more to the blue side, more to the red side. Well, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe a tiny bit more to the blue side. Let's see here. I think that's pretty good. I want it to be real subtle, and I don't need a whole lot of paint. Don't need a whole lot of paint for this. So I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna grab this foliage brush here, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. See, if you look at the shape of the brush, it almost kind of looks like an oval, but you see how the top is kind of almost pointed. So what I'm gonna do to load this here, I'll show you. So I'm gonna tap the top corner like that. Kind of like when we talk about our crash down trees. So kind of like that. Cool. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing. So you see how it's only, the paint is only loaded on the top half there. So then, this is gonna be very subtle, because we're gonna be doing the trees that are furthest away from us first. So that's basically one of the basic premises of doing a wet on wet technique, is you're doing the furthest thing away from you and working your way forwards. So see how we did like the sky first, and then now we're making our way closer and closer to us. So I'm going to, there we go. Perfect. Yes. Okay. It's like, oh, yes. It's great when it works, right? Love that. very, very subtle at first here. So again, these are just very, very subtle. I'm gonna get a little bit darker here. A little bit darker. So let's grab our knife again. I said I was gonna mix with that white, didn't I? Wow, wow. Just kidding. Ooh, excuse me. All right, yeah. Let's go a little bit darker here. This is like these monochromatic paintings are really good for practicing value and contrast. If I have some purple left over from this, and I probably will because I mixed up a bunch, maybe I'll make another purple and teal painting. Purple and teal is my favorite color combination. So far I've done purple and teal seascape, purple and teal northern lights, purple and teal galaxy, purple and teal deep forest painting. So I don't know, what do I have left? What can I do next? Desert scene? I don't know. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. And just the top corner there. Okay. Reach in the sky a little bit there. And maybe a little bit taller over here too. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna get a little bit darker in. A little bit darker. If I can find my knife, there's my knife. There's my knife. So let's grab a little more purple, mix it into there. There, look how rich that is. Oh yeah. That's good, I like that. I like that. Okay, same thing here. It's the top corner. And just gotta make like another layer here. And what we're going to do with this layer is we're going to highlight it with some white there. So let's go ahead and wipe out that brush. Before we do that though, I'm going to grab my script liner here. I'm just going to dab it into a little bit of paint thinner, and I'm going to put it onto that color I just made there. We're just going to make some little sticks and twigs popping out in the background. All right, so let's do. Ooh, we're going to need a little bit darker there. So let's mix in some more of the purple. There we go. All right, so for the script liner here, so I'm just mixing it around, and then I'm also twirling it so that it gets to a point. There we go. Now you can see. Twirly, twirly. And then, there we go. Now it's showing up. Let's reload. Sometimes it takes a little back and forth to get a nice consistency that you want there. I'm just putting some little trees and things here. Grab a little more of the paint thinner. If it's not flowing enough for you, just add more paint thinner. Now, if you add too much paint thinner, the paint thinner and the liquid clear kind of had this weird violent reaction. You'll see it when you use the paint thinner on here. It'll kind of like separate, and so it'll basically make the liquid clear run away, and then you'll be seeing the black gesso. So it's kind of an interesting. It's kind of a cool effect. Bobbles sometimes like spray paint thinner. Like you'll take like a fan brush and some paint thinner, and then just kind of like hit it against a knife and make like cool little snow effects. There's a couple more trees here. And maybe another one over here. So it's good. You'll have some that are a little stronger in color, some that are a little weaker. Let's have another bigger one on the side here. He's popping out from over here, kind of like. And it always helps to make the sounds, you know. You know how that goes. There we go. I'm going to clean off that brush there, the paint thinner. Now the smaller brushes you can clean out in the paint thinner because they dry very quickly. So all I have to do to dry the script liner out is just pat it, just blot it like that. So script liner, filbert brush, and the fan brushes, those are all small enough that you can clean them in the paint thinner and just pat them dry. Okay, let's go back to foliage brush here. And since it already has like a little bit of purple in there, so I'll just go ahead and tap that into some white. Sorry, there you go. That'll be our highlight color. Okay, so let's pick out a couple little bushes and things to highlight there, here and there. I think this is a really good, easy, like kind of beginner painting, just to get you used to the medium and the thickness of the paint and everything. It's going to reload here. And these brushes are a lot of fun. Like I said, they kind of have that little triangular top to them. And I am tapping very, very lightly, very, very lightly. If you tap too hard, you're going to smush your colors all together, and you'll become a mud mixer. And you know what? It happens to all of us. We've all been mud mixers at one point or another. So, you know, don't worry if it happens to you. One thing that can help the mud mixer problem is using the right paints. So for me, I use the Bob Ross paints. Another company you can use is Winsor Newton Gamblin. That's another company. As long as the paint is nice and thick, then you're good. If you're using super soft, oily stuff, it's gonna smush all together. So don't want to do that. There we go. Neat. So we have little bushes going up in there. So I think what I'm gonna do now, see, as I'm creating those bushes, it's kind of creating the lay of the land. So it's kind of taking me where I want to be next. So that's that's kind of cool. I'm gonna tap a little more of that white into here, and we're just gonna put a couple little smaller bushes in here, because now I'm kind of thinking of the lay of the land and where I wanted everything, because I'm going to have some water down here too. So I want to think about that. Going to think about where my water is going to hang out there. Nice. It's going to step back a sec, just kind of see where we are. All right. So I'm just going to wipe off that brush there. Let's wipe out a little more. And I'm going to put in just a couple lighter sticks here. So I'm going to take script liner again, dunk it into the paint thinner, and I'm going to go into that really light lavender color that we were just working with. There we go. Okay. So again, just mixing it into that light lavender and twirling it. Ooh, see how it's running there? That's good. That's what you want. Okay. And I'm going to add a couple more like sticks and twigs and things. Ooh, that one was thick. If it's too thick for you, you can go back in and just go over it like that until it becomes kind of blending in with the background. See how I just went back over it and it's kind of blending in now? So it's not as strong. Actually, see, I'm going to go back and make it stronger again. Kind of like that. Kind of cool. Here. Neat. Of course, you can make as many of these little trees and things as you want, you know. I'm not going to reload. I'm just going to put another little one over here. Again, the sounds help, you know. You know. I'll reload a little bit. Put another one over here. When I do put trees on the side like this, I always have more branches kind of leaning in towards the center of the painting, because like I said, it's, you know, better to lead the viewer's eye towards the middle of the painting. There we go. That's neat there. All right, I think I'm going to just wipe that out real quick. Can't be the devil out of the one that small. It's a little small for that. Okay, so now, like I said, we're gonna have some water. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go back into that kind of lavender color that we had here. Remember, we covered the entire canvas with purple. So all we need to do to bring out the purple and make water is just add a little white. So I'm just tapping a little of that color into my 1-inch brush. And you can use a 1-inch brush or 2-inch brush, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna start here because that's where the moon is. So that's where I figure the lightest part of the water is gonna be. So I'm just gonna just drag straight down. Let's go over here too. Do a little higher. Let's see how it's getting darker and darker. So I'm gonna go back in and see how I was pulling down with that side. So that side's all got that dark purple on. So this side still has some white on it. So let's go back in with some of that color. Go back in. There we go. All right, pretty good. So I'm going to wipe off that brush there. And so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go back over one more time. Just make it kind of nice and soft there, blend it out. So now I'm gonna go in with the same brush and then I'm gonna go, as Bob would say, sidewards. But again, notice how, see the lightest area is here, right under the moon, and then the darker areas towards the side there. So I'm gonna go back in, and I'm just gonna go across. This is where Bob says 2 hairs and some air. So it's very, very gentle, very, very gentle. Very simple. Nice and gentle. Okay. Neato. I did say this is a winter scene, so we're gonna have a little snow. We're gonna have a little snow. So let's grab, let's see here, let's see here. Let's just go, keep going with the 1-inch brush here. It's gonna tap a little white. Not too much. Because our background is so dark, this white's really gonna stand out. So I can make some decisions here. So let's, just gotta decide the lay of my land here. So I'm gonna go right up here and just kind of just pull some snow mountains down here. Let's grab some over here. I'm gonna flip my brush now. There we go. Nice. Wipe that brush off there. Always a good idea to stand back from your painting, take it all in, see how everything is working there. So that looks, it's looking nice there. So you have your nice little snowy banks. So I'm cleaning the brush off, and I'm just going to go back in. I'm just going to soften the edges there, just a little bit. so it's still like dark under those bushes there. Right. So that's good. So what we'll do next, we're going to put a little water line here. So let's grab, like I said, you can grab whatever knife. And you can either do this with liquid white, or since I already have, I was using the that really light white lavender color here for these little sticks and twigs and things. So that's already thin because it's got that color plus the thinner in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. That way I don't have to get the liquid white out, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to gather all this. Gather it all up. A little housekeeping there, we'd like to call. Flatten it out. And then what I like to do is I like to go in from the bottom and push. I like to push that paint. See how it's creating that ridge? So when it's creating that ridge there, you know that the paint is loading only on the edge of the knife. That's where you want it. I'm getting purple on my arm. Whoopsie. All right, so this is where Bob says you're gonna act like you're sawing into the canvas there. Make sure to keep your blade horizontal, like like that. One thing I learned from working with other CRIs, I guess Bob said this, pretend that you're holding a penny on here, or a nickel or something. And if you tip it one way or the other, the penny's gonna fall. So don't let the penny fall. So I'm gonna start over here, and I am going to just, and so to go lower, I'm just dropping the knife. So I'm keeping it horizontal, I'm just literally dropping it like stair steps, just boop, 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 like that. So I'm reloading. Going back in. So you have to reload frequently with this. Again, you don't have to make the sound, but it helps. If you have any areas like that or you think it's like too thick, you can always just go back in and saw it more. So I'm gonna put a little snow here. Saw it. So this is another way you can put snow in. It's just drag it down with a knife. Just like you're making snow on the mountain. Same exact technique. Same exact thing. Just gives like a little different texture, a little more texture to the snow. Okay, a little more over here. And let's put a little more snow up here as well. So flicking a little bit of that snow back upwards there. Painting with just the knife is a lot of fun. Okay, so now we're gonna have another little area of snow right there. So let's grab some more white with our 1-inch brush there. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did earlier, just kind of drag across. We're gonna drag from the other side though, because for this hill, it's higher on this side. So I'm just gonna hold my brush kind of horizontally like that, and then we're just gonna just swipe across. I think painting snow is one of my favorite things. So you got a nice little hill for tobogganing there. Grab a little more white. Or like I said, you can do this with the knife too, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's pretty good right there. And let's see. Oh, we got a couple minutes left. Let's put in a birch tree. Let's put one in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to, because I still want it to be in that purple family. Although the Midnight Black, the Bob Ross Midnight Black, it's kind of purpley a little bit, because the Midnight Black is actually, I believe it's phthalo green and alizarin crimson, which is interesting. So that's how they make the black there. So I'm going to take a little bit of this purple and a little bit of this black, mix it together. There we go, just as long as it's nice and dark. And to mix, I'm just picking it up, flipping it over, smashing it down. That's basically it. Okay. So, let's see, a couple different ways that you can make the birch tree here. You can completely use your knife, or you can use a script liner. I think I'll use the script liner today, so I'll just go ahead and just kind of dip it into, usually Bob will use like a filbert or a fan brush. I usually use a fan brush because it's a little thicker, but that's okay. We can always make it thicker, that's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and start right here. Just go here. Oh, we covered up that little tree over there. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, try not to cover up our moon there. Or maybe. I think I need a little more black here. There we go. That's better. Need it to stand out a little more. And just make it a little thicker at the bottom. Give them something to stand on. All right, some more arms. Maybe one over here. Growing towards the moon. You can cover your moon up if you want. Totally up to you. Totally up to you. What I'm gonna do for these little branches up here, I'm gonna do what we did before. Take a little bit of paint thinner, mix it into that dark color that we got going on, just to make it a little more flowy. There we go. Another really good way to do these little, tiny little intricate branches and things like that is liquid black. I don't use the liquid black for a whole lot, but that's a really, really, really good use for the liquid black. So make little branches and things. Okay, let's do, oh, let's see. I'm trying to think. Do I want, I like when the birch trees kind of like split. So I think I'm gonna do that. Have a splitting birch tree. So I think that looks cool. So let's do. Have it split in here. All right, let's add a little more paint thinner for some branches. Same thing, we can cross over onto those other branches from earlier. That's no big deal. Make it a little darker. And a couple more branches up top here. Okay, I think that's pretty good for our branches. Now let's go back in and highlight them. I'm just going to use that same lavender color from before. So I can just go in and, well, let's see. Let's give them a little bit of a highlight there. A little more, reload. These guys too here. And don't forget this big old branch right here. Big old branch. Okay, maybe a little one here. Go back in with the dark on that one. Make him a little thicker. Okay. Need a little more highlight. Okay. And now, my favorite part of the birch trees, do the bark. This is a really cool technique. So I'm gonna take my smaller knife here, and I'm just gonna take just some straight white. Oh heck, let's throw a little purple in there just for fun. Why not? Okay, so smash it out like that, and I'm going to cut across, get a little roll of paint, and maybe smaller. Little roll, there we go. Little roll. And then I'm gonna start on the one side, and we're just gonna kind of pull. So you're gonna kind of pull almost like you're pulling down in a round. So we're gonna go pew, 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 pew. Reload. Go back in and pull across a little more there. Let's grab a little more. I'm just going to make them a little thicker down here. Okay. And then let's do some on the other side here. Same thing. Just grab and pull. Grab and pull. You can actually make palm trees the same way. Grab a little more. Pew, pew, pew. There. Let's grab a little more on this one here. And you can adjust according to which one you want thicker and everything. And let's do cut a little bit on the other side of the knife, and you can have some coming from the other way as well. Nice. Okay. I think there's a little white up here, so I'm just gonna go back over and make it a little darker. There, that's better, that's better. All right, I'm just gonna do one more thing here. I am just going to go back to my 1-inch brush, just wipe that off. I'm just gonna clean up the foots here. Just gonna grab a little bit of white. Just drag a little bit of white snow right over that. And like I said, if you want a little more texture in your snow, you can grab a little bit of white, and you can kind of drag it over like that. You need to get a lot of texture in there. That's fun. Maybe a little more. There we go. It looks nice and snowy there. Cool deal. All right. I think we have a nice finished painting there, just to kind of show you a different way of doing one of Bob's classics there. So like, yeah, any of the Bob paintings you can make your own by just changing the time of day or the season, anything like that, or putting different trees in. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. And Bob wanted you to do that. Bob wanted you to make it, he wanted you to make it your own. You know, he didn't want you to copy exactly what he was doing. So have fun with it. Try different colors. Try in different colors. This is one of these Bob paintings that I will never get tired of, because it's one of my favorite Bob paintings. And I've already done it like, I don't know, 10 times or so. Definitely never going to get tired of it, but that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do it in every season, every color and everything. So, but yeah, let me know if there's any specific Bob episodes that you're having trouble with, or any certain techniques that you'd like help with. Just let me know in the comments, and we will have fun. We will make more videos. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, whenever I upload a tutorial, you'll be the first to know. All right, thanks for painting with me. Bye bye.